All right, let's dive headfirst into what I can only describe as a highly caffeinated linguistic masterclass. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really funky, high-energy lesson plan that decodes an utterly absurd string of Chinese characters. If you've ever felt completely intimidated by language learning, or honestly, if you just love watching pure chaotic patterns magically turn into unexpected meaning, you are in exactly the right place.
So we're tackling the absolute final boss of text strings here. If you study Mandarin or literally any language, encountering a completely overwhelming, chaotic, unpunctuated block of text is usually enough to make you just slam your book shut and walk away, right? I mean, it literally looks like someone just smashed their hands on a keyboard, hit enter, and hoped for the absolute best. You've got random English letters like I and Isa just mashed in there with complex characters. It's wild, it's messy, and honestly, it's the perfect, ridiculous challenge for us to tackle.
But how on earth do we actually make sense of this chaos? The crucial point is figuring out how to break down this giant, insurmountable block of text into manageable and, as you're about to see, absolutely hilarious chunks. When you're faced with this kind of madness, you need structure. You can't just stare at the whole mountain. You gotta focus on the rocks. And as your chaotic good guide for this explainer, I'm gonna show you exactly how we decrypt this wild paragraph by finding the hidden patterns buried inside it.
To pull this off, we're splitting this glorious keyboard slam into 4 distinct, logical, and honestly highly thematic tracks. We've got the casual philosopher, the divine snack, the secret forest party, and finally, the time traveler and Isa. By compartmentalizing all this madness, we suddenly have a roadmap we can actually follow.
Let's kick things off with track 1, the casual philosopher. The very first part of our text starts with characters that literally translate to probably super high, oh. The first word means probably or roughly, which is just perfect for when you're, only about 70% sure of something. Then we hit another set that translates to 4 good ones, oh, using a universal measure word. It's laid back, it's observational, it's basically our casual philosopher just chilling and taking in the world. Now, what's really fascinating here is the absolute MVP of our entire text. It's this friendly little particle, oh. You're going to notice it popping up constantly. In Mandarin, tacking this little particle onto the end of a sentence just breezily softens the whole tone. It takes a rigid statement and gives it this friendly conversational vibe. It's kind of like adding oh, or or man to the end of a sentence in English. It is literally the linguistic glue holding our chaotic philosopher's thoughts together.
Moving right along, we hit track 2, which I affectionately call the divine snack. This is the exact moment where profound theology violently and wonderfully collides with premium dairy cravings. The text suddenly spits out characters meaning, God is good, oh. So right in the middle of our keyboard smash, we get this moment of profound, breezy spiritual clarity. But oh, it definitely does not stop there.
This part brilliantly captures the deadpan absurdity of the whole thing, because right after praising the divine, we get the phonetic Chinese translation for the famous ice cream brand Häagen-Dazs. And what makes this so incredibly funny is the literal translation of those characters. It means laughter, root, reach this. I mean, you can't make this up. Throw in the character for love, which is also sprinkled into this track, and our keyboard slam is essentially proclaiming, God is good, oh. Love, laughter, root, reach this, oh. And honestly, who doesn't love premium ice cream?
Then, track 3 takes a massive left turn. We are completely ditching the ice cream parlor and heading straight into a secret forest party. This section of the text suddenly introduces some surprisingly specific botanical vocabulary. I mean, you really wouldn't expect a random mash of keys to just magically yield perfect nature terminology, but hey, here we are.
I have to deliver this next part with the utmost academic seriousness. The text generates characters that literally translate to red bean fir. That is the actual official name for the Chinese yew tree. Just pause and think about that for a second. An absurdly niche botanical term for a highly specific coniferous tree somehow manifested in a completely random keyboard slam. It's like a 1 in a million linguistic accident.
But the secret forest party gets even better. Right alongside our Chinese yew tree, we find characters meaning an activity or event and the word for well-behaved or darling. Now, this well-behaved concept, that's usually a word you'd use to praise a cute puppy or a really good kid. So when you put it all together in this track, it strongly implies that we're hosting an event where we are profusely praising a very good, very well-behaved yew tree. It's surreal, it's beautiful, and yeah, it's completely unhinged.
Finally, we arrive at track 4, the time traveler and Isa. The text spits out characters meaning time or moment and to scatter or throw. And randomly interjected amongst these characters is the English name Isa. So who is Isa? Are they scattering through time? Are they the one hosting the U-Tree party? We honestly have no idea. Isa is just the mysterious main character of this entire linguistic universe, bringing all 4 of our tracks to a traumatic, completely perplexing close.
Okay, let's pivot to phase 2 and see how this actually builds into practical learning. Because it's one thing to decrypt the text, but to truly master it, we need a high-energy training montage. We've put together 3 funky learning activities designed to test your new skills and literally burn these characters into your memory forever.
Activity 1 is the O emotional roller coaster. Your goal here is to master the art of that breezy Chinese particle we talked about. To do this, you have to read these literal translations out loud using entirely different, hyper-specific emotional prompts. Imagine you just won a massive lottery jackpot. You'd throw your hands up and shout, "God is good, oh." Now imagine you're whispering a juicy, super paranoid conspiracy theory to your friend, probably super high oh. And finally, channel the energy of a sleepy person desperately craving a midnight snack. Haagen-Dazs-o.
Moving on to Activity 2, we have the Haagen-Dazs speed run. The goal here is to build up your tongue's muscle memory for foreign loanwords. You start by chanting "Lofter root reach this" really slowly. Then you incrementally increase the tempo. You keep going faster and faster, chanting "Lofter root reach this" until you sound absolutely ridiculous, like some futuristic auctioneer trying to sell premium dairy in the year 3000. It is a fantastic, if slightly exhausting, phonetic workout. For Activity 3, we're really testing your creative boundaries with the Behave U-Tree roleplay. Your challenge is to connect the absolute weirdest, most disparate words in this entire text. Just imagine the chaotic 10-second skit you'd have to perform to logically combine a U-Tree, an activity, and the concept of good behavior. How exactly do you scold a tree? How do you reward it for good behavior at an event? The sheer mental gymnastics required here ensures you will never, ever forget these vocabulary concepts. After all this intense preparation, after surviving the emotional roller coaster, the auctioneer ice cream speed run, and the bizarre botanical role play, it is finally time for you to graduate from this funky masterclass. You've analyzed the rocks, now it is time to face the mountain once again. To pass this lesson, your ultimate graduation challenge is to take one massive, deep breath and read this entire translated text in one continuous, dramatic, energetic flow. Here we go. Probably super high oh 4, good ones, oh God is good, oh throwin', I activity, oh behave, I time oh, I oh 4 big very high oh red bean fair, oh love laughter, root reach this, oh Isa. When you can rattle that off without blinking, you haven't just learned the vocabulary, you have absorbed the chaos and bent it completely to your will.
So, we started with a terrifying wall of random text, and we somehow broke it down into casual philosophers, divine ice cream, and well-behaved U-trees. We brought structure to the absolute madness. Now, I turn it over to you. Having survived the secret forest parties and the premium ice cream speedruns, are you ready to conquer the chaos of language learning yourself? What other seemingly impossible subjects could you master if you just learned to find the hidden tracks? Keep that curiosity alive, embrace the absurdity, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.